Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. I believe that everybody deserves a fresh start. And that's what we're doing here today with the St. Louis chapter, virtual chapter, I should say, of the National Guild of Hypnotists. So for those of you who are listening in, you're going to get some insider secrets to success and getting that fresh start. But because this is our chapter meeting, we always start off with celebrations. So Angie, I'm going to start with you. What are you celebrating today?
Personally, I just got back from a few days with my mom last week, and she's over in Illinois, and I did something with essential oils called Aroma Touch. It's Aroma Touch therapy. Like it's a specific, it's not massage therapy. So, but it's something they teach, and you just need these different oils. And I have a massage table because my daughter gave it to me. And so I did that for her. And, she was so relaxed and she just really enjoyed it so much. And she's always go, 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 and doesn't give her mind a chance to slow down, or her body or any of that. So it was a bonding day for us. So that I'm celebrating that.
Excellent. Yes, because right now those relationships are so important, and we feel like maybe we've been cut off from that touch. So it's time to start bringing it back. Yeah.
And it also spurred her on to get a massage yesterday. So, she just thought that was so great. That really relaxed me.
Yeah. Once the mind starts heading a direction, it wants to keep going that direction.
Right.
Progress. Let's accelerate it.
Yeah.
Singley, what are you celebrating today?
I am celebrating the launch of my new website. It is fully 100% done. It looks fantastic. And I am now an incorporated LLC.
Yay.
Yes. Well, Angie's going to be our presenter here in just a little bit, and she's going to give all her contact information. We want to hear your contact information. Tell us about the new website so all of us can go and check it out.
Yeah, so it is Elemental Healing Art Studio, www.ellahealing.com. That is ELEHEALING.com.
ellahealing.com. I like that.
Cool.
Congrats. So Drew, what are you celebrating today?
I woke up this morning.
Yes.
Well, at my age, it kind of helps,
He always brings us back down to the fundamentals.
Yeah, there we go. Actually, I am celebrating re-entering the retirement world.
Yes, well, kinda, because here's my celebration. I do weekly lives that also go on the podcast, and Drew's going to be joining me on some of those again.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.
So that's my celebration.
So I'm retired, but I'm not retired. I'm retired, but I'm still working in our business. So
yes,
there you go.
Just clarify that.
Yeah. So, you're working for us instead of somebody else. Okay. So our meetings, we always talk about tips, tools, and techniques, but we also have a presenter because you as the listener, we want to empower you, but it goes beyond empowering you. Our presenter also gives us as certified hypnotists, the ones who are in attendance, tips, tools, and techniques to be able to take our service for you to the next level, which is the reason why Angie is going to be our presenter today with change your story and change your life. Now, I want you to know, but Angie's going to introduce herself. Whenever I read off an introduction, y'all know I didn't write that. The other person did. Angie did not write this for me. Angie and I go back, oh my gosh, what, 11 years?
Before that even, because
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So 12, maybe 13 years. That's a long time to know somebody who continues to not only stay in the healing arts industry as a coach, as a mentor, as a hypnotist, as a guide, but flourishes and her clients flourish. Because Angie, I know this about her. You attract what you are, not what you want. And she is always looking for what's the next level to bloom and blossom? What's the next level of expression? She'll bring to these meetings when I go, okay, give us a celebration. Last month, she said, okay, so I'm using these new techniques and tools for me and my husband, Steve, to come together and form a stronger partnership right off in the morning, or how we're ending the day. She is always looking for growth, which means because she takes the tools, she uses them herself, and then she passes on what works really well to her clients. I know this about her. So this way, when you work with her, you're getting not only what is going to be effective, but then she's going to customize it to you and what's unique about you, because she knows that everybody needs their own individual nourishment, just like she was talking about with her mom and doing the touch with the essential oils. She knows how to nourish people where they're coming from, where they're at, what they need. She doesn't make you fit into a system. She designs a system around you. So I am now going to pass it on to Angie. She can introduce herself with all of her credentials, because she's got a lot of them, and then share with us today your brilliance and how we're going to be even brighter because of it. Angie, take it away.
Thank you, Dawn. That was very sweet of you. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about me. Do I have about 20 minutes?
Honey, you have as long as you want.
Really? Okay. You don't want to give me that much range.
Okay. Well, we're going to be complete in 50 minutes. So how's that?
Okay. So how did I, just to kind of give you a little background, how I met Dawn, it was back, it was before 2010. All I know was that in 2010, early in the year, I asked Dawn to be my mentor because we had met at a women's networking group, and I was floored by her, and your long hair, it still looks the same and everything, but not just that, it was more your confidence, and how you spoke publicly. And so I remember reaching out via email, and I said, would you be my mentor? And you sent me an application to be a hypnotist. And I wasn't expecting it. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it, but I wasn't. And I just remember thinking that, well, this would go well, because I started my business, Harmony Harbor Coaching, in 2008, and it was based off of using emotional freedom technique, or meridian tapping. And I just figured that hypnosis was similar to that, and that they both work with the subconscious mind and rewiring how we think and how we feel. And so I thought it would be a good complement to that. And it really has been a wonderful complement. And so in 2010, I went through Dawn and Drew's certification program, because they're NGH instructors, and I got certified. And so I haven't looked back. It's been 11 years, and I have added one other modality to that, but I really practice EFT and hypnosis probably the most in my practice. So that's how I got involved. And now what I really focus on, and it's been a through line from the very beginning, is I work with empowering women. I mean, mostly I work with women, and I help them decide, if they should stay or go in a relationship or a career. And I help them through that difficult transition in their life, and have a 6-month program that's designed all around that, and working with their energy and helping empower them. So that's a little bit about me. I do want to talk today about just if you're new to hypnosis, maybe some basics, but I always believe that the best way to know something is to experience it. So I actually wrote a little hypnosis for us today. And because I'm being honest here, like I always felt like I'm not that great of a hypnotist. I'm like, I'm just not that great at it. But I also think that I have sold myself short because one of my gifts is writing. So I thought, how can I not be good if I'm a decent writer? So, this felt like it was almost like a inspired thing, because I just wrote this yesterday and it just flowed right out of me. So let's just see. I'll give you a little taste of hypnosis today. Is that okay, Don? Okay, cool. So for those of you new to hypnosis, the ego, I just want to explain the ego mind and then the subconscious mind. That ego mind is that analytical, very judgmental, aware part of our mind. And it's, if you think of the iceberg, the little part that sticks out of the water, that is the metaphor for the conscious mind. But the vast majority of our mind that really dictates our results is the part that sticks underneath the water, below the water line. And we call that the subconscious mind. And the ego is sort of like I always liken it to a guard dog to our subconscious, in that it doesn't want you to gain access to the subconscious. The ego to mind doesn't. It doesn't want you to feel painful emotions or pain at all, really, for that matter. That's where hypnosis comes in. It allows us, that is hypnosis, to put the body into this relaxed state of concentration and relaxation at the same time, so that the mind will, the body, actually, let me rephrase that. The body starts to relax and then the mind follows from that. And when we go into this thing called an alpha brainwave state, could be deeper than that, but an alpha brainwave state, our conscious mind takes a little vacation. And that's what we want it to do. The conscious mind, also known as the ego, takes a little vacation. And the submission to the subconscious is granted. And why is this so important? Why do we care about that? It's because real lasting change occurs by rewiring or reprogramming our subconscious mind. The conscious mind, it's important. It is important to make decisions and to be aware of what we want and that kind of thing. But really, I've intuitively, and I know there's been studies that say a similar number to this, the conscious mind is only dictating probably 1% of our life results, whereas the subconscious mind is dictating at least probably 90. I would personally believe it's more like 99%, even higher than that. So it really makes sense to learn how to reprogram that subconscious mind. The good news is, because then we can work with the body and the emotions and the heart. I have always likened, again, the subconscious, AKA, also known as the body, the emotions, and the heart, sort of all in one big bundle, that holds the key to helping us create this lasting change. And it feels really good to be in this relaxed state. Like my mom, when I was giving her that massage, I mean, she doesn't allow that very often. So there's, excuse me, there are countless ways to work with hypnosis. And since I love helping women create that deep, lasting connection with themselves, with other people, and with their spiritual source, that's how I like to use it. I firmly believe that our success has much less to do with what has happened to us than it does by how we interpret what happens. And that's why I titled my thing, Change Your Story, Change Your Life, right? Change your story, change your life. Yeah. As children, I'm going to get a drink of water. This is another one of my staples. I always have water around. As children, we do not have that filter that we call the ego. When we're age 1 to 7, we don't have that filter. And so a lot of times until like age 7, 8, we sponge up everything. And we often misinterpret well-meaning adults, or, the intentions of them, and maybe not so well-meaning. And we interpret that we are bad, wrong, or stupid. And so as an adult now, we know we're running these unconscious programs by how we show up and by how we feel. So whatever our story is, somewhere embedded in it is programming that we are not enough. It feels like that's a common through line for all people, is that even the most successful outwardly appearing people have a subconscious belief of I'm not enough on some level. Hypnosis is a wonderful way that we can start to change the story that we tell ourselves, from one that limits our happiness and our wellness to one that allows us to feel safe enough to actually start to dream again, to start to want again. And so hopefully like we did as a child, but sometimes we get that snuffed out even as a child. Some of us have a very strong, I'm going to call it a pain body. And that's not my term, but Eckhart Tolle calls it a pain body. And it's really that conglomeration of all the negativity, the negative emotions and so forth that we have experienced. And, I've often known that I have a large pain body. And I'm not trying to say that I'm all negative all the time, but, our mind is quite negative. And so for me, this is not bad news. And here's why. If you have a large pain body, the part that just feels like you resonate with sorrowful things, or sad things, or like even like the Holocaust, or, I've seen this movie Schindler's List, and, I can really resonate with that. I resonate with things that people have experienced a lot of pain around. I just feel I have a huge amount of compassion for that. And the reason that is good news is because this is what Eckhart Tolle said in his book, like the larger our pain body, the more the opportunity that we can transform that energy into something beautiful that can work for our lives. So anyway, I think at this point, I should just go ahead and we'll do the hypnosis together, the one that I wrote. And this is about I am enough. So again, I'm going to get a drink of water. I wish I could put on some music, but I don't know that anybody would really want that. So what I'd like to do now is just have you get a little taste of hypnosis. And so I invite you to find a comfortable chair or somewhere you can relax. And, hypnosis, again, what we're doing here is I'm going to help you relax the body, help the mind sort of relax, take that conscious mind or that ego on a little vacation while you tune in to your subconscious mind through this state of relaxation and concentration at the same time. And I hope you will enjoy this. So go ahead and allow yourself to relax. Get in that comfortable position. You can be on a chair, a couch, whatever, and allow your shoulders to just sort of droop down away from the ears. We really have that natural tendency to hunch them up. This is your time. This is special time just for you to relax. And you can also feel free to close your eyes if that helps. That just allows us to get out of that ego, that conscious mind. And I invite you to focus on your breathing. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And with each inhale, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in calm, peace, relaxation, contentment. It feels almost as if you're all snuggled up in a warm, cozy blanket with each inhale. It is so, so comforting and calming. Imagine a gentle pinkish white light surrounding your entire body with an extra layer of love light pulsating right around your heart. And with each beat of your heart, a signal of peace and love is transmitting. One wavelength of pink light moving out in gentle waves, one right after another. With each exhale, I want you to feel all the stress and tension and strain leaving your body In fact, you can visualize all the tight, constricted energy of worry, fear, and stress that you've been accumulating, just draining out the body through your toes. See the stress like a thick honey dripping down, 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 deep into the recesses of the earth's core, where it can no longer touch or hurt you in any way. And coming down through the center of your head, I want you to imagine a grounding cord, and it's about 6 inches in diameter, made of brilliant white light. And it extends from 3 feet above your head, and it moves down the length of your torso, and then it splits into 2 grounding cords that move through each of your legs. And shooting out below each leg, the cords go deep down into the earth, and you are feeling solid, grounded, at peace. Every cell in your body feels safe and protected. All of this loving energy has enveloped you in a cocoon of contentment. The tension in your head has slipped away, leaving the eye muscles relaxed. The jaw muscles are relaxing. The muscles in and around your shoulders are relaxed. Tiny filaments of relaxation are pulsing out from along your spine. The peaceful calm is emanating from your arms and legs. They are feeling heavier and heavier with each in and out breath. Your hands and feet are relaxed. Your chest, stomach, hips, and buttocks are all peacefully relaxed. Every organ, cell, and tissue fiber is now calm. It feels good to honor the body's rhythms and allow yourself to let go just a little bit more and more than you did yesterday, and more with each relaxing breath. Imagine now that you're stepping safely down a set of 10 stairs, and these stairs are leading you down into the center of the earth, which is alive with greenery. It is vibrant with the smell of Mother Earth and her loving soil, the soil that has provided nourishing food for your body. Take the first step down. 10, 9, feeling safer and safer. With every step down you take, you feel more and more cocooned in Mother Earth's embrace. 8, 7, feeling deep in your bones how all right everything truly is. 6, 5, feeling more and more relaxed. 4, 3, breathing more oxygen into your lungs. 2, 1, stepping down onto the firm ground. And up ahead, you're surprised to see a massive oak tree with the insides carved out. Mr. Old Oak humbly greets you and admits you entrance into its loving embrace. The musty wood scent says hello, and you find yourself settling onto a comfy bench. You run your hands along the walls of the inside of the tree, which are smooth and oddly reassuring. In this captivating space, where you feel totally at peace, you hear the tree speak to you inside of your mind. Greetings. We are so glad you are here. You've been seeking questions for a long time. You've been very confused, alone, disconnected. You feel so much, but yet you don't want to feel it all. You wonder why you're here. What's your purpose? So much feels meaningless. So much pain and suffering, and for what? It always seems that you can never do enough, to feel content, to feel at peace, to feel fulfilled. This happiness eludes you because you're so hard on yourself. Something needs to be different somehow. This insatiable need for things to look a certain way. You have felt very sorry for yourself indeed. Death, life. Which is worse? Some say life is worse because at least with death there is no more pain. What can you do about this? What if you saw reality a different way? What if you could relax about it all? Surrender into my strength and knowing that everything is going to be okay. I wonder what would happen if you could relax and trust the process of life. That there is always an invisible safety net below you. How might that change your experience of life? What if you stopped telling yourself the story that you are not good enough, but in fact, that who you really are is beyond amazing? What if you've had it all wrong and you could surrender the self-pity and fall in love with your magnificence, your beauty, your body, heart, mind, and soul? The pure presence of the amazing you, because this would be the truth. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are admired. You are significant. You are always secure and free to be, if you'll but tell a different story. Nothing that's happening is meant for you to be so worried about it. The human drama. Yes, it's convincing, isn't it? Perhaps don't buy into it so much. Feel how good you feel, supported by my massive trunk. Our source is a gazillion times more powerful and loving than what you feel right now. Trust. Relax. Breathe. Receive into life. It's all okay. You are okay. Let go. Let go. Let go. I am always with you. When you leave here, go back into your daily life with less tightness, more flexibility and tolerance, less fear and more faith and love. Relax about it all, will you? You take a nice deep breath, and you can feel your body and mind relaxing even more, trusting more, yourself, other people, life itself. It feels good to feel aligned. You remind yourself to take this nice feeling with you by placing your hands over your heart. So go ahead and do that. Place your hands over your heart, sort of rubbing your hands in a circular motion, saying to yourself, open and harmonize. Open and harmonize. Remember. And whenever you want to bring back these feelings of harmony and peace, since you created the experience, it's easy. Simply place your hands over your heart and sink into the serene space where you connected with yourself and something bigger than you and whisper, remember. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to come back into the room by counting from 5 down to 1. But remember, you can always come back to this very peaceful place within yourself because you created it. 5. Gradually coming back into the room, feeling your legs, feet, and toes, your arms, hands, and fingers, wiggle them a little bit. 4, remembering that you are okay. You are enough as you are always embraced by the love of the universe. 3, remembering that there's always an invisible safety net below you, and you are always loved and supported, despite appearances. 2, coming back up into a wide awake, alert state, feeling fantastic. And 1, allowing your eyes to open at your own pace, feeling much better than you did before, more and more at peace and okay within yourself. Yay! And Dawn, you have a big smile.
Yes, I do. Thank you for that. And
You're welcome.
you know, the universe is so synchronous, because I will put a post-it on my screen for keywords or phrases, something that comes to me in my prayer life. And the one I have right now says, I remember. So as soon as you said, remember, I'm like, thank you. I've got that.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yes, it is. Okay, so is there some other pieces that you want to share, or can we open it up to Q&A on some of the things that you do?
I think we should open up to Q&A.
Okay, so I've got some questions for you. Whenever you talked about helping women to feel safe enough to dream again,
Mm-hmm.
do you think they know the dreams, but they've just suppressed and repressed? They're afraid to hope, or have they completely blocked them out and they're going, I don't know. I don't even know what I want anymore. What are you experiencing with the women that you work with?
I think that they are afraid to hope. They've been hurt. They've been disappointed and burned, by life. And so it's a self-protective thing to not even want to go there.
Right.
Not want to put ourselves out there and to dream again. So I think a lot of it's unconscious. They don't realize they're doing it. It's sort of in like dreamlike state in which they're not aware that they're in this self-protective state of mind. Because they're playing it safe. They're playing it small. I don't necessarily like the small word, but they're just playing it safe,
Right.
Logically so.
So whenever you go to help them, do you then focus on bringing the dream out first, or do you assist them in dealing with that pain first? What do you feel? What's your system that you use? What do you feel when you're working with anyone who happens to be listening to this? What's the best way to move them forward?
I do start often with the pain, where they're at with that, and helping them create an awareness of it, and also a self-love around it, doing some parts therapy and helping them to see that it's not really a problem. Like, you're making it a problem, but it's not really actually a problem. It's always been there. It will continue to be a part of your life. And you don't have to get rid of that part of you, but actually just love that part of you. So a lot of self-love, parts therapy.
And you've said parts therapy twice. Tell all of us what parts therapy is, because even though we've also got other hypnotists that are listening in on us, and they don't know what parts therapy is, because it is a highly specialized field.
It was one of my most favorite things that you and Drew taught me, Dawn, way back when. And so parts therapy is getting in touch with the parts. It's almost like there's aspects within ourselves that we identify with, or maybe we don't. Maybe we're not even aware of it, but there are parts within us. For example, there could be a rebellious teenager within us, or there could be a stubborn little child, who I got to have my way. And it's so normal to have all these different parts, and they come out. There's like an inner brat part, that might be close to the rebel, but, and they just throw these little tantrums, and it's a big distraction, right? And it prevents us from getting what we really want. So helping them identify these parts within them, and then once they identify them, a lot of times they can gain cooperation from that part. And instead of thinking of that part as their enemy. Now that's for a lot of women and men, they see that part as an enemy. They hate the part of them because they blame that part for keeping them stuck, or for causing any fill in the blank problem, that it's that part's fault. But the truth is that once we identify, well, what is this part? Then they can get the buy-in. They can realize that, oh my gosh, I've been really mean to that part of me. Like, I've been rejecting that part of me. And so they become aware of it, and then they start to communicate and treat that part with some respect, because the part was there to teach them something. about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stop for a second.
Girl, you're on a roll. You're doing great. So as parts, when you do parts in hypnosis, do you find that typically one session is enough? Do you like doing multiple sessions on that?
I would say it depends on the person, but I will do multiple sessions on just parts therapy typically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's so effective.
Yeah. Well, and so you said you help women decide if they should stay or if they should go, whatever the relationship might be, love, career,
Right.
friends, family, whatever it might be. Do you find that this part of the personality that you're working with in hypnosis is the one that's keeping them in the situation and in the relationship, or is it the one throwing the fit because it wants them to get out?
I'd say both. Right? Because whatever, we're going to identify a lot of their parts. So we'll work with multiple parts. And,
Okay.
it could be serving somebody to stay in a relationship. So that part we have to deal with. How is it serving you to stay? Maybe it's an abusive relationship, and they really want to leave, but that part is so codependent and needs to be people pleasing. And, as women, we've given our power away,
Yeah. Oh,
and,
yeah.
and that part may feel very guilty for even wanting to leave. So we have to communicate and help them to see that, what is the truth for you? What's in your highest good? And then there could be another part that really wants to leave, but maybe, for example, they really want to leave, but they're in a relationship with somebody that is actually a good person. They're not abusive, and that this part of them is used to running away from things. You see?
Oh.
So it just depends. Like, everybody's got a different story, but we need to look at all different aspects of those parts to see what's going to be in the highest good, and how can we all have them start working together as a team within their own mind and their own heart,
Right.
to get some traction and to get some momentum.
So you said, change your story, change your life. These are almost like characters in a story,
Yeah, absolutely.
in a book or in a play or
I
a
see it
show.
a lot like that, very much like that.
Yeah. And so we've got all these different characters, but instead of them being separate from us, they do make up us.
Yes.
And so getting those characters then to tell a better story. I always like asking the question whenever I've got parts fighting with each other, what was the discussion we really wanted to have?
Yeah.
Because when you said they're using it as a distraction, they are.
Right.
Yeah, or not always, but sometimes. And yeah, what
Just
was...
like our parts are just sort of like a relationship with another person.
Yes.
Because we can use our distraction techniques with our main relationship, and because we don't want to look at what's really going on for us. We don't want to get vulnerable, God forbid.
Because
we don't
then
want
it hurts.
Right. So
Singly, if you have any questions, jump in.
No, I thank you, Angie.
Welcome.
Yeah, for sharing all of that. I guess, in addition, how do you incorporate the tapping into your hypnosis sessions?
Yes. I don't usually incorporate them into a tapping into hypnosis. What I will do, though, is prior to a hypnosis session, I'll do some tapping with them to get clarity, sort of like pre-work to a hypnosis session, if that makes sense. And because sometimes they don't know what the problem is, right? What's going on? There's confusion, there's overwhelm. And so the tapping can help sort of ground them and solidify what we need to do in the session. So that's one way you could use it. It's a good idea. I could possibly use it within hypnosis, but I haven't really done that. That's an idea now. You've given it to me. I'll
be mulling that one over.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit more about the pain body? Do
Yeah,
you find that uh, does it take on almost like an energetic life of its own to where it extends out beyond us? Do we
it
keep it
does.
in a certain place in our body? Is it just in our brain that we keep it? Where do you see it showing up in your clients?
Heck, I think again, that's dependent on the person. So some of us live up in the head, because
Mhm.
we don't want to feel. And so the pain could be up here in the form of overanalysis paralysis, and just, um, it can be in the heart. It could be, you were so afraid of rejection, it
Mhm.
could be in the gut. We're in fear that we're going to be persecuted. I don't know where this is coming from, but this is what's coming to me to tell you. Um, the pain body is so unconscious in a way. It's just really become conscious for me. And so if you have experienced in your life trauma of any sort, and it typically it could be bigger traumas, but it could be smaller traumas too. Um, and somehow we've made those stories mean something that they really don't mean. It's how we interpret everything. It's our perception that matters. Um, for me, losing my aunt when I was 6 years old and she was 10 years older than me. Um, and we were born on the same day. And I felt like I was going to die when I turned 16. She died at 16 years of age and I was 6. So she was 10 years older. And for 10 years, I carried the weight of, I'm going to die when I turn 16 years old. Because
Mhm.
I, shortly 2 weeks before she died, I wished that she had died. I said to her, I hate you and I hope you die, because she wouldn't let me be with her and her boyfriend, And so, I, you see that was a very painful experience that really defined a lot of my young years. And
Mhm.
then also growing up having a dad that really was very abusive to my mom on all levels. I didn't know in our household if I would come into a state of calmness there or if it would
Mhm.
be a state of abuse. So it
Mhm.
was it was a roller coaster. And so those are some pain bodies, right? And then as I was getting older and older, I attracted a man who was also didn't have my highest interest in mind, and he also had a big pain body. Okay. So it's like one pain body can attract another pain body. It does. And
Right. Yeah. We attract what we are, not what we want.
right, we attract what we are. And I was just confused because I like, what's going on? Why am I finding myself in some dramatic situations, and what's going on? The pain body wants bad things to happen. It wants negativity to keep occurring.
Mhm.
That's important to know. It wants more of that which it's comfortable which is pain.
Right.
And I think once we can start to realize that, like, oh, how is my pain body that has a life of its own attracting in things from situations like belonging to a networking event, for example, and I don't know, is this making sense?
It is. Yes. So it attracts it in, and then how do you help, or what do you do with your clients? Do they minimize it? Do they use it? Do they still keep it but it's transformed? What are you assisting women to do with it, especially in your 6-month program?
Yes. First of all, to become aware of it. That's
Mhm.
the first thing. We do a lot of energy work with the chakras in the 6 month
Mhm.
program too. So it's converting the pain body into an empowerment energy is what it's
Mhm.
doing. I mean, because the pain energy, the pain body, will it go away? Probably not. I mean, it can be transformed or transmuted somehow,
Yes.
and that energy and Eckhart Tolle said something really cool in his book A New Earth, the New Earth, about how the beautiful thing about the big pain body, and I mentioned this earlier, is that the bigger the one we have, the more empowered we can become,
Mhm.
because we can convert it. There's that potential of energy conversion,
Yeah. It is. It's just energy waiting to be used for something.
right?
And
Instead of for all the self-pity And again, I speak for myself. I have felt a lot of self-pity, and after losing my daughter, Maddie, 2 years ago, that really got the pain body loved that in some ways, because it was like, oh, yes. I mean, it's so weird, but
confirmation. I should
yeah,
hurt.
yeah, right. Yeah.
So how have you transmuted the pain around your daughter passing 2 years ago?
I think that I am still in the process, but I think a lot of it has occurred probably just in the last couple of months, actually. And I think what's happening for me currently is that I don't feel so sorry for myself anymore. Like I know that it happened and that Maddie left this world too young in some ways at 22 years of age. But I also choose to see that she's still with me. Like she'll always be part of my heart forever, and that won't ever go away. And
Right.
then I don't have to be a victim to life. And this is probably what's given me the most, I guess, transmutation of energy this last few months is getting in touch with, this is going to sound crazy, Dawn, but I don't know why, but my character seems to be inviting this weird thing, and it's being in touch with the moon. Would you have ever thought? Like the cycles of the moon, like why is this coming into my story? I didn't seek it.
Right.
But so this is really fun. I know we're getting out of time, but
but we're good.
Last Saturday, February 27th was the full moon. Okay.
Right.
And so Steve, he got this idea. Why don't we have the fire pit? Because we got a fire pit and it happened to be nice on Saturday night. And I'm like, really? Because I'd been wanting to do this fire pit forgiveness ceremony. So what I've done the last 2 months, last in January, in January, I did the same thing. Me and my mom and a friend of mine, we sat down and we wrote the things we need to release from our life, the things that we needed to forgive. And then what we did is we wrote them down, and out under the full moon, we burned them. A little full moon ritual. And then Steve and I did something similar on Saturday night. I wrote it down, and it was funny during the ritual. We had a fire pit this time, which was really cool. He's like, well, let's have a beer. I'm like, okay, we can have a beer. And it was just a fun thing. He said he really enjoyed it. And we were very connected, and we wrote down deep feelings and thoughts of what we wanted to release and move into. And we burned it over the fire while we were having a beer, Now I couldn't see the moon very well this past Saturday. I think it was pretty cloudy, but so that on top of doing an intention ceremony. So during the new moon, when the new moon hits, to do an intention for what I want to create. And so I don't even know why I answered all that, but yeah.
But the mind looks for ways, it looks for symbolism for releasing, for the fallow time, as well as then making the ground fertile for moving forward. And we all have those rituals, whether we're doing it as something formal, as even though it's fun and feel good, hey, let's have a beer and get rid of some stuff under the full moon. Okay.
Right.
I did that one time, and a young lady showed up with journals that she had written over 15 years. And it's like, well, that's going to take a while to burn those. But because she just wanted to release it all and begin anew. But we all have that, whether it's, and I don't think that we pay, as you said, so much of it is subconscious. If we pay enough attention to it, a lot of people will have the ritual of, we get home, we turn on the news, and then we're going to create our evening meal and what we're going to be partaking in, listening to all that negativity, all those emotions.
Terrible.
Yes, filling the area. So we all have rituals, and we don't realize it. They're habits, but are those habits ones that are going to open us up to the next level, or are they a habit that's going to hold our success hostage? So yeah.
One thing you just said about burning all those that woman that burned all her journals.
Yes.
I have journals like that go back like that. And that's not a bad idea, to let go of the past.
Well, and then Matthew McConaughey. I've never really paid attention to him as an actor. But he does catch attention, but I've never gone to a movie to watch him. He recently came out with a new book called Green Lights. And it's a fascinating read. I actually listened to the audiobook. He's the one who narrated it, but he did his based on all of his journals. He kept them, and the time had come in his life to write an autobiography of the lessons learned from what's in those journals. So for her, she wanted to let it go. She felt like there were no lessons. For him, he's now assisting others because he found the lessons, and now he's publishing those lessons. So it can go either way, letting go or sharing the lessons with others.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So, Angie, how can our women who this has resonated with, how can they reach out to you? Where do they get more information? What do they need to do?
They can go to harmonyharbor.com, which is my website. Harmony is HARMONY, Harbor, HARBOR.com. They can also email me at Angie, ANGIE, at harmonyharbor.com. And they can reach out through phone. My number is 314-422-6520. That's 314-422-6520. I also just want to say, Dawn, I have a women's retreat coming up at the end of June. It's June 26th and 27th. That's a weekend, and it's from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. It is free. And it's called Let Go of What They Think. So I'll just put that out there. And if anybody wants that information, again, they can reach out to me.
Is that retreat in person or virtual?
It is virtual right now.
Okay. So you can attend from anywhere.
In person later, but done many of them in person. I prefer in person, but I really enjoyed it did go well. So. And
for those who are listening to this and they're across one of those really big ponds, on Angie's telephone number, the country code is 1. So put a 1 in front of that to be able to reach out to her. Okay. So we're now going to conclude with one of our ahas from today. And I will go first. That Angie, the pain body, that really resonated with me as far as it being a container for those experiences. And if we can connect with the container, we can connect with the energy in that container. So thank you for that. Yes. Anybody else have a aha that they would like to share from Angie today? Okay. So please reach out to her. If this is something where you're like, yes, Angie is speaking directly to me, whether you happen to be a layperson or maybe you're another certified hypnotist going, you know what, I know I'm not supposed to heal myself. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to connect with others. That's their mission. And it allows us to just receive then instead of always having to achieve. So even if you're another hypnotist, please reach out to Angie if she is resonating with you and you want to be able to release that story and then start writing the one that you really want to live. Angie, thank you so much for joining.
Can I ask you one last thing?
Yeah.
As my instructors, did you like the hypnosis session? It was a kind of a quick thing, but what did you think about it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. How'd I come out of it?
You were smiling. I couldn't see Drew. So, Drew, what did you think?
Drew, you're muted.
I thought it was terrific. I thought it was terrific. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
There you
You,
go.
you liked it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, the session, and it was interesting, you taking us down into the earth. So if we're going to look at Native American traditions, if we want to tap in to wisdom that is going to feel more grounded, uh, and the wisdom that is going to help us physically manifest, because that's what earth wisdom is. Then you're going to be taking us to the center, and you're going to be taking us to the tree, that because they carry the tree of knowledge.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, you're hitting on all
cool.
of those symbols to actually then manifest a change, not just thinking about it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So thank you for all of the listeners. And again, reach out to Angie if she resonated. And now we're going to go around. Everybody's going to share their contact information one more time. Singly, you get to unmute yourself and share your contact information one more time for all of our listeners. She froze up. Okay. So, Drew, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, so you want to give contact information.
Drew at drewdawnferguson.com. That's DREW at drewdawnferguson.com. And by phone is 636-699-7791.
And again, put that country code of 1 in front of it. Angie,
Correct.
one more time, Angie, give your contact info.
Angie at harmonyharbor.com, 314-422-6520, and that's harmonyharbor.com.
Excellent. All right. So to all the listeners, I hope you join us next month, where you're going to get insights to where I'm actually going to be presenting the 10 laws of the subconscious mind and how it achieves success. Okay. So bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Great meeting, everyone.
Yeah,
Yes,
great
thank you.
meeting.